Hello everybody, welcome to Reynauld's Model Railroad Train Building Studio. This is our second episode on this massive Märklin layout that we're building. And since the last video, we've made quite a bit of progress. We brought most of the track back on top of the layout, and we're doing a lot of wiring now. We're hooking up all the accessory decoders to the switches. And one big job of the layout that's going to take quite a bit of time is we have to program the entire layout into the software program. So that will take a little bit of time, but the bench work is getting mostly built. We also will be talking to Jim today about his role in creating and building all the laser structures. This particular customer wants to use MBZ structures from Germany. So they are the highest end structures on the market. They are laser cut, but what's very unique about them is the MBZ structures, they use a process where they actually engrave patterns onto the architectural cardstock. So when they engrave, for instance, patterns of the roof shingles, or the bricks, or the wood sidings, it's taken from real images from real buildings that exist, shrunk down into the CAD program or into like Corel Draw, whatever they're using. I'm not exactly sure. And then they create this and they put it on the computer software. They scale it down and then they burn it to the laser. And I'll show you, and Jim will talk a little bit more about those structures. I'm going to walk around the layout. I'm going to show you guys a little bit more of what we're doing here, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the layout, and then we'll introduce Jim and go from there. Okay, here we are. We got all the track off the floor, and this whole section over here, what you see, this is actually the shadow station, and our guys are about to set up all the. Those are all the track decoders for the turnouts, Märklin C-track decoders, and your M83 decoders. And this whole section will be a shadow station that's computer programmed. And this whole section over here, when the layout's finished, will not be exposed. There'll be a large mountain over it, and then the trains will come in. They'll stage. The computer software will know what lines are vacant. And the detection system, the occupancy system will feed the layout different trains. So the customer could stage a lot of different trains in the shadow station and pull out as many trains as he wants and coming from the shadow station. So right now we're programming all these decoders, getting all the motors installed. Actually, I believe all the motors are already installed because underneath the layout, yeah, you could see all the wires hanging. That's good. So it looks like they installed the motors already. They're cutting more ramps. They started on another section over here where, you know, the trains will be running under that section, and it looks like it'll be an above station over there. So they're working on that area over there. So lots happening. You know, every week or so we make more and more progress. We don't exactly have a timeline on when this layout will be finished, but there's a lot of work to do. Definitely a lot of work, but we're having fun, and we can't wait to start running some trains. That's the funnest part. So here we are on a new section that we're building. This will be another passenger yard, freight yard. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to be posting the plans of the whole layout, and then in the next episode we'll really have a detailed overview of the entire layout. But you could see here there's some above sidings up at the top here, and this right here looks like you know, a ramp that's coming from the lower section of the layout to the higher section. And we're just playing around right now. The track isn't fastened down yet, so we have to straighten everything out and screw it down. We're just basically hooking everything up to make sure all the modules, all the seams where we cut and where we take them apart, that we could easily put the C-track back together. Another nice station with a bunch of sidings, you know, long runways going into the mountain section over there. That'll be very, very cool. There will be 3 levels on this layout when we're done. The top layer, or the top level, will be all narrow gauge mountain railroad. Then, you know, you have your underground shadow stations, your underground tunnels, the top levels. There's going to be a lot, and we are going to definitely make a lot of videos on this layout, because when it's done, it's going to be one of the nicer Märklin layouts in the country. No doubt about it.
Hi, I'm the Jim. I started working for Reynauld a couple of years ago, and I just stopped into the store because I was looking for some parts for the hobby I have, which is model building for railroads. And up until I was introduced to MBZ, it was always wood kits I was working on. They got me started on working on the MBZ cardstock kits, which at first I really was kind of leery about, but now I'm absolutely in love with them. They have all kinds of detail on them that the wood kits don't have. And they're easy to work with. The kits from MBZ come already obviously pre-cut, and you just take it from there, paint them, weather them, assemble them, and you can mount them on just about any layout you've got. In fact, you don't even have to be into railroading for these MBZ kits. You can just make dioramas. I've done a few farm dioramas with their kits, and you know, just add the animals and the little people and the scenery to it. And they really turned out pretty good. The current layout I'm working on now is the one that Ray was describing for this fellow out in Utah. It's a massive layout, and they have me doing over 100 buildings for this layout. It's so huge, and the customer wants them all to be MBZ from Germany. So I feel kind of good about it. In fact, that I can show off the buildings as I think they should be, the different color for the structures, the different positionings for the scenery around the tracks, the mountains, the tunnels. And once it gets done, I really think it's going to be a real showpiece. One of the buildings they have me doing is going to be a hotel, which is probably the biggest kit that MBZ carries. And it's going to be the kind of the cornerstone of the whole layout, and it'll be pretty involved. A lot of detail work, a lot of curtains, a lot of lighting that's got to go into them. And my understanding is the electronics on it is they're going to wire it into the electronics that will automatically shut off and turn on certain lights within the layouts themselves that we've installed. And at night, or when the lights are out, it should be pretty stunning.